Start streaming now. That's gonna pop online, I think. Put this there. Put this here. Hey, folks. If you're just watching through the replay, because nobody else would have joined up yet. Let's see. Just double checking how that I got everything set up. I've got to make things different every time. Okay, if I go to maybe under videos, there we go, and pause and share. Perfect. Golly, that's annoying. Okay. So I just wanted to basically test that I can get this going. Hey, hi, if you just joined, say hi in the chat, please. Would love it. So there was a little service basically that I wrote that I didn't have time to build into a full service, like as a full package and stuff. And what it does is allows you to define viewport sizes that you want to run your capabilities in. And so basically what I do is I want to turn this whole thing into an actual full-fledged service that people can use. So that's what I will be doing today. So probably the first thing I want to do is create a new README file. And this service, that's not the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to be taking it from another service that I've been writing for a tool called Applitools, and we'll be kind of porting it all over. So what I'm going to do is open up a new terminal window. Profiles, live recording. There we go. Yeah, responsive service. And then I'm going to do npm init, and this is going to initialize my service. And I'm wondering if I actually want to do this right now. No, I'm not. I'm just going to create a new file, a new package JSON file, and paste in what I had pasted, and just change this up. Responsive. And we're going to be on 0.1 to start with. Integration, allow easier configuration of multiple viewports. That could be better, but oh well. CD test, yeah, we'll get that set up, and then this is going to be responsive. And actually, I already have this in there. Visual cloud automation, eyes test. Selenium. Selenium would be a good one. And then responsive. And I'll just say mobile, just for the fun of it. For some reason I can't type, I can't even say responsive. Okay, I'm gonna want to get rid of that. I'll get rid of that. I will keep that. Chrome driver. I'm gonna want the Chrome driver service installed, so I'll probably do that next. Oh no, it's already here. Mocha framework, spec reporter, perfect. Okay, so this is my basic package JSON. I need to come in and npm install all these packages, and then this is going to be my README file. So I will get rid of this stuff because I don't need that. Services, responsive, and I want to build up my example. And I think if I build up my example, it's going to help a little bit to kind of understand how this service works. And yeah, I'll leave it there. You don't need an API key, and this is going to be your capabilities. And in it, that's going to be an array. And my kid's knocking down on the door because that's what they do. They knock down the door. Hey folks, say hi. Say hi if you've just joined. Let me know how the audio and everything is set up. Hopefully I've got the video synced up correctly. I had some issues with that before, but I will save this as README, and then I'll actually create a new folder. No, it's just, what did I do? I said new folder. Maybe I create a new folder there. Oh, folder name, I see. This will just be lib. I could name it source, but, and then, how do I move it? Move to lib. That didn't get updated, so. Okay, now I have this here, it exports it, and then I'm going to need a new file here called index.js. And this is a little bit of boilerplate that you might not really need, but I kind of like to have it just for the future. Responsive service is a new responsive service, and I'll call that responsive service. And then I need to come in here and rename this to be responsive service. It could be like main or something else, but I don't really want to do that. Okay, that installed, good. So what this does, I think I need to, yeah, I'm gonna want that open. Oops, okay. We need to create a test folder. And in that test folder, we're gonna have our sample configuration file. And what is that gonna look at? Hey, Andre? Hopefully I said that right. Some great names out there. Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate it. Oh, this probably isn't going to be too long, by the way. It's going to be 20 minutes until I've got to get back to watching the kids. But let's see. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to run npm test. And then I'm going to say, just going to fill all this out. And let's increase that so folks can, so it's easier to see. We've already got Mocha, so I'm gonna say yes. They're gonna be, yeah, let's throw them in there. We've got the spec reporter. I'll say yes, even though I think it's already installed. And then I do want the Chrome driver service. Good. Yes, please install that. Silent logging, that's fine. Base URL is going to be, oops. Always fun to test the WebdriverIO website. Okay, so inside of that, I created this configuration file. I actually need to move that out, or get rid of the test because that's that. I want 2 max instances, and then I will test on Chrome. And speaking of, I need to change the host and the path because that's how Chrome driver works, and I always get confused how that's set up. I wonder if I did that here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Chrome driver uses a different port and path, just so you know. Okay, and then in here, how we're gonna do this is we've got our capabilities. Gotta remember how I wrote this out. And then let's see, I can close that, I don't need that. Open this, move that over. I can close that for now. So before it looks at the capabilities, oh wait, under build capabilities. That's right. Well, hold on, I need to open up my project that I'm using this on to remember how I wrote it all out. Yeah, that's right. So because you can't change the capabilities on the fly within your service, at least I couldn't find out how. What I do now is I call the responsive service and I build the capabilities from that. And so not ideal. I'd really like to just be able to pass that through, but that is what it is. So what this is going to do, it's going to go up into the lib folder, pull down the responsive service. And this example is going to be a little bit different from what goes into the README. But this responsive service is going to have a static function on it called build capabilities. That takes your capabilities and the viewports you want to build onto them. And this is for multiple capabilities, like if you wanted to have multiple browsers. So really I should have, well, I'll just have one. But if you had multiple browsers, it would help with that. So, okay, come back here, and I've got my capabilities there. Let's remember how I do this. So I have an array of capabilities, and then I'm going to have an array of viewports. So I will put, just to kind of organize it a little bit better. There's my array of capabilities, and then in here is going to be my array of viewports. So I'll set width to, let's do 480, and height of 600. So I think that's somewhere around a portrait phone size. But we also want to do, I don't know how I want to format that. Yeah. We also want to do like desktop size. So let's do width of 1200 and a height of 900. Something like that. Nothing official here. Then I also am going to change this tab width. That way it's a little bit easier to see all on the screen. Okay, so in here, oh, and it reformatted this. Oh well. You've got your capabilities. Right now we only have Chrome. And then the viewports that we want to see it at. And this gets run through responsive service build capabilities, which basically is going to convert this over to something like viewports, kind of like that. It just does that for you through this build capabilities command. Okay, so I'm going to take that and then come back here, paste that in, and I'll actually add another example. And just do a little bit of formatting so it's a little bit easier to read, and I'll change that to Firefox. That way you can see how that works. And then the other thing I could do is, oh, that's kind of a bug, is now that I'm thinking about it, I was thinking that you could add viewports in here and it would have these viewports plus these, but that's not going to be the case. These are going to overwrite any viewports you define in there. So in this code, I basically need to check allows individual to override. So if viewports is defined, oh, I guess I did code that. I forgot what I coded. These are the desired viewports. New caps.push. Well, I'll probably need a test in here to figure out how that specifically works. Service responsive, and then the other thing I need is to load this. And that's not going to be like that. It's just going to be WebdriverIO responsive service to build those capabilities. If you didn't want the global viewports, you could just put it straight onto. You don't need to use this build capabilities command. You could just add it straight to your capabilities. At least that's the idea. Okay, so I've got this set up. I've got my basic viewport set up, and now I just need to write a quick test. New folder, and that was called specs, and then inside specs we'll do a file, basic.test.js. Actually, I think they had it spec.js. Oh wait, no, it doesn't matter. It's just specs. Okay, that's fine. It'll still run. And then I'm going to jump over to the WebdriverIO website. Close all these old tabs that I don't need. And then on here they have their basic test, and just reformat that. And the other thing I need to do is install Chai. Okay, so that goes, sets a value, but rather than doing this kind of stuff, what I would really like to do is save the screenshot. So I'm just going to do browser.save screenshot. We'll just say it should look good. And so we'll go to the home page, save the screenshot, and then I don't think I can pass in an element selector. Nah. But I will pass in the name of the file to save it to. Let's homepage.png. Yeah, saves it a PNG. And you know, here I don't want to name it just homepage.png. I want to get the viewport size, so I'll do browser. Oh, that's a good question. Can I specify them in ems instead of pixels? I don't think so. That has to do with the set viewport size command. And it doesn't even take pixels, does it? It just takes a number. Yeah, so I just set a number there. Type, change window, default. Yeah, I don't think you can set it to a EM measurement. That would require a little bit more work to do that measurement. I'm sure that would be a great thing to add to the service, is the ability to programmatically check the size of the text on the page and then change it. But I think the problem with that is you have to load the page, and the way this works is it doesn't load the page before setting the viewport size. It has this before hook. Right, yeah, so the just said that it doesn't know the font size yet. But could probably add something in later on, but that's a bit extra work right now than what we're gonna get into. Okay, so what I wanted to do was get the viewport size, and so I'll do constant size is equal to browser.get viewport size. That's going to get our current viewport size. The other thing that I could do, which is probably going to be a little bit more performant, is go to options, which options is going to be everything under capabilities. And there is a desired capabilities value on there. I think I need to double check this. So I'm gonna log browser options, and then with the size, I'm going to basically add that size to this the file name that we're saving. So we'll do size.width, and if you're not familiar with it, by size.height. This is a new JavaScript, semi-new JavaScript string. I think it's called interpolation or sublation. An easier way of adding variables inside of strings. Yeah, so that's what that is. You got a little backtick here that defines that. So this is going to assume that this worked. It may not have. I'm going to save this and then come back to here, and I'm going to run npm test. Couldn't find that service. Oh, that's one thing that I need to change in down here under services. And this is kind of a funky thing. When you're writing a service and you're not installing it via npm, you pass it in. You're basically passing in an object. And I think you are passing in a new responsive service object. Let me double check that in my other code file bit. Responsive, yeah. So you're passing in a new instantiation of that. So that's why you see here they export the responsive service. And yeah, so that'll load that service, but it still didn't like this path. // that'll get me up to here. Response. Oh, that's why I got that wrong. Okay. Can you believe I'm sweating so much in the middle of winter? It's not middle of winter down here anymore. It's hot. It's very hot. Excellent. So it passed. We had our, so this is the options that matched up to here. And on there should be a desired capabilities. And here's that viewport. So that viewport got set from our responsive service. You see, let me see. Yeah, it matches up here. So even though I didn't set it in my capabilities, when build capabilities got built out, it created two browsers that had one with a viewport of 480 by 600 and the other with a viewport of 1200 by 900. Okay, and so it should have saved images for us to take a look at. Let's see, ls test. There we go, undefined by undefined. Well, darn, that didn't work. Oh, because I needed a viewport. That's what I needed. So I'm gonna run that one more time because that was a pretty quick little test. Another thing you didn't quite see, let's see, you're gonna see this resize, hopefully. Yeah, so you saw two different sizes. It happened really quick. Yeah, the studio lights don't help, and my garden closet with all the fluorescent lamps in there don't help as well. Yeah, and the fact that I can't really turn on a fan right now doesn't help because it's just too loud, too much background noise. Okay, so we're going to check that out. Okay, there, now we've got our home page and our other home page. So going to, if you give me just a second, sites. In here, this was our old one, but now we've got one that's 480 by 600 and then another one that's 1200 by 900. Oh my God, it worked. I was not expecting that. Sweet. So that's a basic test of how that works. I can get rid of that. And then the last thing I need to do is make sure that my README is correct. And then services, we'll just call it responsive. And that'll load it. The other way we could do this if we wanted to is new responsive service. But I kind of want to keep those separate because I'd really like to figure out a way to not have to make them set responsive service. Make them /u or whoever uses this. Okay. I can actually delete that. Maybe I should just keep the shrug in there. I'll just throw that at the bottom. WebdriverIO responsive service. This service allows you to more easily your capabilities on multiple viewport sizes. Okay, so I've got that saved. That looks good. I've got my test. I've got that. I'm going to come back over here. I'll run git status. I probably want to do a git ignore. So let's see if I have a git ignore. Yeah. Just throw all that in there. I don't want the error shots to be saved. Okay. Lib package lock test. Awesome. Initial build out. That's what I'll call it. And then I'll push that up. And this is getting pushed up to a repo that I already have. install. I forgot that I have to, in the README, where is it? Yeah. You have to // it to really make it work. Git commit fix shrug. And you know what? Just for the fun of it. And then I can't remember. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's try that. This is an important detail of this framework is getting the shrug rate. Whoa, that's totally different. I wonder if GitHub does that. Hey, it worked. Cool. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is publish this up to npm. So I can see that I'm logged into npm by typing npm who am I. And what I want is to make this appear perfectly when I search for WebdriverIO responsive. I get nothing. So I'm going to do a npm publish. And the next time, just in case you're curious about how this works, if I wanted to make a change and then increase the version, I do npm version, and then I can say patch, which is like the third version number. So you have your version number right here. So this is your patch number, this is your minor number, and then this is your major number. My patches are for things that aren't breaking changes. Minor are for breaking changes, and majors are for like big, huge changes. So I would do npm version patch, and that would increase it from 1 to 2, and then I believe it also does a git commit. But what I want to do is just do npm publish. And that published it. And now if I go back, you know, they probably don't, oh man, that was quick. Very, very quick. They got that. So now this is public for people to try out. And what I will do is try this out on a new repo. So let's see if I come back here. What do I have? I've got a bunch of stuff in here. I think I've got a stable, cd stable. Actually, over to responsive service. Command line. Responsive service. And then I'm going to npm nuke, which is a little command that I have that will delete all my npm files, all my node modules files, and then reinstall them all. Then I'm going to run my npm install responsive service. I can't believe that takes so much time. Oh, so it has to, okay, that's something that's worth changing, is that I need to move these dependencies out of there. And I should really do the same thing with this service. Although this service does require Selenium WebDriver, it doesn't require Chrome driver. This is kind of a funny thing. If you didn't see, you load WebDriver, and then for them to hook up to it, you have to basically hook into the WebDriver session that WebdriverIO creates and like attach to it. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so that's actually a really good thing to have caught, that it's installing Chrome driver and all that, which we didn't really want. So I'm gonna leave that. I'll probably publish a new version in just a second, but I want to edit my configuration file, and capabilities. I don't want to do Safari, right? No, I don't want to do Safari. I'll do Chrome, and then I'm also, since this comes with Selenium standalone already installed, set responsive here. Then I can test in Chrome and Firefox. And the first thing I'll test is if I put Viewport. Yeah, it would have to be Viewport. You can't do viewports in here because it doesn't run it through. So you could just set a viewport. So let's just try that. Because we're kind of, I'm kind of certain that the other stuff works. So width of, what do we want? 1200 by a height of 800. And then in Mr. Firefox, we'll do a width of 600 and a height of 400. Just super small. So that's, why am I, oh yeah, that's in my Wednesday folder. So getting confused by the namings. Let's try it out. I don't remember what these tests do. Less test specs, right click. Okay, so it goes to the URL, it right clicks. I'm gonna edit that. So ST, if you haven't watched my stream before, is short for Sublime Text. And basically it's just a shortcut I created that will open the file that I pass in. So I take this file and I pass it into Sublime Text and it opens it in Sublime Text for me. Save, screenshot. And I'll do the same thing I did there. And I don't want to pause. You know what, screw all that. Just gonna mess that up and copy that over. What page are we even testing here? This test. WebdriverIO homepage. Okay. And then I'll come back here. Oops. Create a new tab. Jump out to my, oh, I'm already there. And then run npm test. And we'll see if it works or not. It's so hot, but I've got ice in my thing still. What's up with that? Are you running? Are you doing anything? Hello? Hello? Okay, so it started the session. We should see it resize. One of the sessions is down here on my other screen. Itty bitty little window. Cool. And there are my pictures. What happens if I type open? Oh, it doesn't want to do that. That just opens a file. What I want to do is open this in Finder. Selects in the Finder. What about open-r? Ha! Does that work? No, not that one. This one, yeah. So here's our Firefox view, and then here is our large view. So you can see you can use it both ways. Oh, not that one, here. In this way, you don't have to, let's see, so the two different ways. You can use build capabilities, or you can use Viewport. And yeah, that's how that works. And so that worked pretty well. Let me just double check that I can get this build capabilities to work. And so I will come down here, comma, array, paste that in, and I don't need viewport. So now this is going to take 4 screenshots, 2 for each browser. And the other thing I need to do is load that service at the top of my file. And it's not going to be lib/responsive service. It's going to be WDIO responsive service, like that. Okay, I come back here and I run npm test. And I try it out. Missing an argument, 967. Oh. Bye. I'm gonna have to go soon. That wasn't a bye to y'all watching. That was a bye to me, to my wifey going off to work. And I need to go watch the kids before they destroy things, which is very likely to happen soon. I don't know why I'm redoing all that. Okay, let's try running this again. Build capabilities is not a function. And you know why? Damn. Okay. Well, the reason why is this returns a new responsive service, and because this is a static method, I guess it doesn't have that available on it. So that kind of stinks. Let's see if I can just load it through there. Do I have that backwards? That's weird. I did have that, those slashes backwards. Let's see if that works. Again, I don't really like that at all, but that's how it's going to work. Okay, so we're going to get 4 different screenshots. Bam, 4 passing tests, and my 4 different screenshots didn't come through. Oh, you know why? They didn't come through because in my test, I'm not passing in the name of the browser. So if I really wanted to make this better, I would do dash and then $. I'm not going to run this again, but under desired capabilities, I would do browser name. And that would include the name of it. So basically the Firefox or the Chrome tests were overwriting the other one, and that's what happened there. Okay, so I need to update my README file, popda, to be this, which I am not happy with. But I've got to figure out a better way to do that, but that's not going to happen today. And then probably could add like another example showing how to do this by including it in the capability itself, but I don't have the time to do that. I gotta go pick up some speakers from right outside my house. Go back to my responsive service site, do a status. Okay, so I added that, and then I moved Chai and Chrome Driver down. So I will add it, commit, let's see, fix a couple of bugs. That's a great commit message, right? Fix a couple of bugs. I'm gonna push it, push straight to master, which is what you're supposed to do. And now I'm gonna do npm version patch. And npm, which if we look at our git logs, you see npm actually committed this for us. So I can do another git push, which I should have waited to do a git push until later. And then I'm going to do an npm publish again because I have a new one out there. And so we got a question from a Mr. Michael. Do all these tests run the same on a Windows development computer? They probably do. You have to have everything installed. You have to have Java installed to run the Selenium standalone service. And then, but the screenshots are actually going to be different because you have different fonts loaded and the rendering's just different by all that. So do be aware of that. Now we come back here and you see 0.2 is the latest. And I really want to double check that oops, not that one, that I don't have to install Chrome driver again. So what I'm going to do is npm uninstall Chrome driver and chai, and then also this responsive service. And now I'm going to install the responsive service, and it should be a lot faster because it really doesn't have too many dependencies. Okay, so yeah. Chai WebDriver requires a peer of chai. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with what I did because that's not a dependency of my service. Okay, that is it. That's all I wanted to show off today, is basically how to put a very basic service together. What I didn't talk about are these hooks. So when you write a service, you can hook into before and after, and for information on that, go to your developer guide. Then under test runner, you have a custom service, and they have a basic explanation of how to do this. And any hook that we have down here, all of these hooks we can add to our service, and they'll get run by WebdriverIO in our service. So we just use a before hook to change the viewport size to the viewport that we want it to be. And yeah, but in a more complex one, like the applet tool service, I've like a before suite, a before feature, before test, before step, all this kind of crazy stuff going on. So that's what that does. Yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great Thursday. I'm probably going to be back tomorrow doing some unit testing for React, actually. So thanks for watching, and look for the stream tomorrow. It's either going to be on here on YouTube, or it's going to be at my Twitch channel. I haven't decided yet.